Yeah, Tulika.
Okay, all right. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you all had an amazing day. Before introducing our guest for tonight, I would love to tell you a little bit about Knuts. Knuts Ventures is a startup based out of Kolkata, India. We are a speakers bureau and influencer accelerator. We have worked with organizations like ITC, ISAI, St. Xavier's College, and these are just to name a few. Currently, we have around 200 plus NAT speakers on board with us from different backgrounds, from startup founders to comedians to authors to experts in real estate and energy. We have it all. Now, I would love to introduce our speaker for tonight. We have Sonali Dutta here with us, who is a speaker, author, and a coach. She's a finance graduate with an added diploma in design and then went on to study digital marketing. She is now a certified NLP practitioner and life coach. She is also the proud co founder of Lynchpin Life Academy and Speed Club that fulfills her purpose to be the person you needed when you were younger. We are grateful to have you here with us today, Shanali. The floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Tulika. That was a very beautiful introduction. I'm very, very grateful to be here as a NUT speaker and very excited for everybody who's watching over there. Welcome, my name is Sonali, and as Tulika has mentioned, given a very wonderful introduction, I would not like to mess that up or add too much more over there, but I just like to tell you that the session for today is going to be very interesting. I'm not able to see the participants over there, but I'm really guessing we have a great number and we have amazing, enthusiastic people on the other end of the screen. Before I actually start sharing my slide share, I would like for everybody of you guys to grab a pen and a paper because it's going to be an interactive session. It's going to be something mind-opening, eye-opening, and at the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A section where you will be able to ask me questions, and I'll be very happy to answer them. This session has been streamed online on YouTube, and please type in your comments in the form of questions, and Tulika will hand it over to me at the end of the session during the Q&A section, right? So without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen. Tulika, please let me know once you see it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, are you able to see it?
Not at the moment. It was
Okay.
visible.
Is it here now?
Can't see it.
All right, one second. No problem. Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. All right, great. So I guess I'm audible. My audio is perfect.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Thank you so much. If in case you lose me in the middle because it's kind of the technological world, please do let me know, right?
Yes.
All right, people. Today's topic is changing the way the world sees you, right? And I'm your speaker and your host and your host for today, Sonali, better known by my personal brand name, Sonali the Endless River. You can Google that up. So, changing the way the world sees, I will not explain a lot about what this means, but I will quickly jump into some disclaimers of today, right? This is the disclaimer. The disclaimer says that this session will make you ask yourself questions you might have avoided so far. You might feel lost, perplexed, or intrigued. But if you're honest with yourself and decide to challenge your version of the truth, you might have just stumbled upon the Aladdin's lamp. So I've chosen the theme as Aladdin today, and I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with that. Adult to child, we all know about the mighty Aladdin and the genie and the lamp, right? So this is exactly what I want to explore today. How can we find our own genie? How can we find our own lamp and become the Aladdin that we're set to become, right? So again, there might be some questions which might be boggling to you, new to you, you know, keep your head held high, get a pen and a paper, and let's start the show. Now, let me ask you a question when I start off. The first question I'm going to start off is, we've all been asked something, the moment we had a little bit of conscience. Adults used to ask us, teachers used to ask us, and then finally friends started asking us, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? We thought about professions, we thought about cool things we could do if we become this, if we become that. We look towards our parents, we look towards people on the television industry, people on the TV, glamorous things. But in reality, the actual question that should have been asked was, who do you want to be when you grow up? Now, when we talk about changing the way the world sees us, the world doesn't see us for what we are, the world sees us for who we are. And today, while exploring this topic, I want you to keep in mind exactly whenever I ask any question, whenever I go through any kind of a discussion, let me know if we are pointing towards the same question and if we are trying to answer the same question, who do you want to be when you grow up? Now, let's look at the path of change. The first question I want to ask you is, where are you right now? If we look at the path of change, we have to look at the current scenario you are in and the future. Where do you want to be? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you've all heard the question, where do you see yourself from 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? I'm guessing most of you guys are now in college. You guys are looking towards, okay, I'm going to complete my degree, I'm going to get a job. Somebody's looking at, okay, maybe I have a family business. Somebody's looking at, okay, I'm going to do some post graduation, I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to settle down, or I'm going to work on my own startup and things like that. So write the first answer down. Where are you right now? Right now, what is the scenario? What are you looking at? And the next question is, where do you want to be? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where do you want to be? But in reality, I want you to answer, who do you want to be? Not where do you want to be? At the end of this session, what kind of change do you want to see in yourself? And don't break your head too much on it, because we'll be asking a lot of questions that helps you unveil that same thing. And we'll come back to this question and unveil where exactly do you want to be. Now, my gift to you today is the 7 mantras to unleash the genie. Since we're talking about Aladdin, right? There has to be a lamp. And the moment there's a lamp, you have to say some mantra. I mean, actually, you probably have to just, rub the lamp, make the genie come out. But for this genie, the genie that's going to change your life, the genie that's going to tell you who exactly you're meant to become, the genie that will help you understand how you can change the way the world sees you, you need 7 mantras. All right. Guys, I hope you're ready. Get your pens and papers ready and let's rub the lamp and let's get the genie outside of the lamp, right? All right. What is the first mantra? Now, you might have heard this before, but let's deep dive into it. The first mantra and the first question and the first thing I want you to understand is face your insecurities. Take a trip down the memory lane. Now, I've studied psychology and I've studied a lot of, human behavior. Social psychology is one of my favorite subjects. Psychology says a lot of the insecurities we carry with us originated in and are rooted in our childhood. That means that if you think about yourself in a way that is demeaning, if the voices in your head are telling you, oh man, I'm not good enough, oh man, can I do this? My friend is pursuing this, but my scores are not that much. My other friend, has a YouTube channel with a lot of subscribers. He's kind of growing, he's becoming an influencer. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. That cousin of mine, he's going places. My mom keeps on telling me, oh, he's doing that, he's doing this. Where am I? These are your insecurities. And the insecurities have a lot of power to pull us down. So I really want you to take a trip down the memory lane. That means sit down and ask yourself, what are the things I don't like about myself? What are my weaknesses? In business, we do something that's called the SWOT analysis. Some of you might be, MBA students, finance students, you would know strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Okay. I don't want you to think too much about it. I just want you to take the W out of the SWOT and tell me, what is your weakness? Your weaknesses are actually rooted in your insecurities, and your insecurities are actually rooted in your childhood. Something might have happened. Somebody might have told you, okay, you know what? You're not really good at this thing. And you believe that person, right? And you're holding on to that. You're holding on to that particular person's version of you, and you're letting that pull you down. So I want you to guys take a piece of paper, right? Take a piece of paper, write down your weaknesses. Now I know that we have limited amount of time. We have an hour and we have 45 minutes. After that, 15 minutes will be Q&A, right? You might not be able to list down all your weaknesses, but list down your top three. When anybody asks you, what are you not good at? What would you like to improve about yourself? The top three things, top five things, top one thing that comes to your mind is your number one insecurity that you need to work on. Because I've met a lot of people, when I ask them, what's your strength? What are you good at? They really have to deep dive. They do not know what they're good at. But when I ask somebody, what are you bad at? What is your weakness? What do you think you can improve? What do you suck at? Let's face it, millennial language. What do you suck at, right? They can give me a list of things they're not good at. And the reason for that is the people around them, something around them, things inside their head is telling them, you know what? Doesn't matter what you're good at, man. Look what you're missing out. Look what you can't do, right? So I want you to let me know, write down on a piece of paper. You need not show it to anybody. This exercise, this session is for you to understand where you stand and where you want to go. So the first mantra is we got to face our insecurities. We have to take the trip down the memory lane. Tell us that, all right, you know what, as a child, I was not good at these kind of things. Doesn't mean I can't improve. Doesn't mean that I can't change. Doesn't mean I cannot follow my childhood dream of becoming something, something, something. People change their careers all the time, right? There is no right time to do anything, honestly. You make your time. So I hope you got this noted. Number one mantra to unleash the genie is face your insecurities. Okay. Now, quickly, we'll move on to number two. What do we have here? Okay. Now, since I can't see people around on the other side of the screen, but I'm going to ask a question and I want you to take it as if I'm actually sitting in front of you. But since you can't tell me, you can write that down or put it in the Q&A section later on. I want you to ask me, if I ask you about your personality, how would you tell me your personality is? Now, a very common way to say that is honestly, people say, you know what, I'm an extrovert. Some people say, I'm an introvert. I'm shy, I'm bold, I'm friendly, I'm outgoing. I don't like too many people, I'm private, things like that, right? I want you to understand that people are not their behaviors. That means if today you are shy, you're behaving a certain way, you are not that shy person, right? A shy person can change in respect to their environment. If you put a shy person in a group of people they love, right? If you think you're shy, if you think you're insecure, I mean, if you think you're um, a person who's kind of like an introvert, right? Go and sit with the friends that you can have a hearty laugh with, right? Go and sit with your family members, your siblings that you absolutely love, and tell them about a story, tell them about an adventure, tell them about your deepest desires, right? And watch the extrovert side of you unveil. And similarly, if you take an extrovert and put that person in a weird environment, in an environment that they do not relate with, in a bunch of amongst a bunch of people they do not really, gel up with, that person's gonna is going to act a little bit shy because they will not gel with the environment, right? So what I want you to do is, can you see the picture on the screen? The picture on the screen has a guy jumping from one cliff to the other, right? And I want you to do that. I want you to step outside your personality. I want you to choose experience over comfort. A year back, a year back, I took a two-city trip, Mumbai and Bangalore. Saved up all the money that I was getting from clients' freelance projects. I was sitting at home for about a year and a half. Left my job, was doing some freelance project, building my brand. Right? I wanted to step out. I said, okay, you know what? What can I do next? What can I do next that pushes me out of my comfort zone? And my comfort zone was my city, the beautiful city of Kolkata that most of you probably might be sitting in. I stepped out. I said, I'm gonna go to the two biggest cities in India, Mumbai and Bangalore. I had my savings. I had my friends living in both the cities. 15 days in Mumbai, 15 days in Bangalore. All my plans got actually kind of sloshed off due to the Mumbai rainstorm in August. I chose the wrong time. But while I was taking the flight from Mumbai to Bangalore, I remember on 15th of August, I told myself, Bangalore has to be a game changer. Bangalore is going to be the city that changes everything for me. Coincidentally, sheer luck, I met my co-founder, my current co-founder. We were not scheduled to meet. We met through a common person we both of us know. And you know what happened? We started this company. It's been a year, and I've co-founded India's first emotional gym, right? You can look us up at speedclub.in. And we're working with people like you, and that's my passion project. What I did was I took that leap. The guy who's jumping, I did that a year back. And I want you to do that right now, right? Look at the screen and visualize yourself making that jump. Again, I want you to choose experience over comfort. Make a list of all the things you're scared to do. Talking to a new person, changing your job if you're actually working part time, looking to a new career stream, making a YouTube video, opening a YouTube channel, vlogging, traveling, experiences define us. Step outside your personality. If you think you're an extrovert, go out of that zone. Go out of that zone and experience a different side of your personality. Experience the quiet, shy, private, intricate part of your personality. Push yourself. If you think you're an introvert, get out there. Go to parties, go socializing, go watch a movie alone when COVID is done. Go eat at a restaurant alone and make sure you go with the agenda of making one new friend when you come back. So, the second mantra of unleashing the genie is to step outside your personality. Right? I hope you guys are making notes because I really am excited to have some nice Q&A session. All right. Now let's see what we have next. Huh. Well, the next thing, very, very important. Pay attention to your words. Now, let me ask you. Let's pretend you can actually see me sitting in front of you, and we meet for the first time. We meet for the first ever time, and I asked you, tell me a little bit about yourself. Or you go for an interview, those campus interviews in college, and the interviewer asks you, he's gonna ask you, by the way, it's gonna happen. So if he asks you, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Can you describe yourself, introduce yourself? How are you introducing yourself? What are the words that you're using? Now, when it comes to an interview, people obviously show their best side. But when you're meeting a person for the first time, when you're in a social setting, what are you saying? Are you saying, you know what? Yeah, my name is Sonali. I'm a speaker. I also coach. And I'm kind of shy. Yeah, I mean, socializing is not my strength, but I'm here. Do you use words like that? I'm kind of shy. I'm this. I'm that. Are you highlighting your weaknesses? Remember, we did the weakness exercise kind of a couple of slides back. Are you highlighting the things that are kind of behind you? Are you not highlighting your strengths? Right? What words do you use to describe yourself? If I give you a paragraph and say five things about yourself the way you describe, do you use hobbies? Do you use your passion project? Do you use what you want to be? Do you use who you want to be? Or do you use some things like the things that are pulling you back? Your insecurities. Are your insecurities part of your introduction? If you read on the slide, it's written, your reflection of yourself is often a perception of how others see you. Guys, today's session is called Changing the Way the World Sees You. How do you see yourself? Let me ask you, how do you see yourself? When you see yourself in the mirror, when you wake up, do you wake up proud? Do you wake up happy? Or do you wake up like a person who still has got to do a lot of work on themselves? Do you wake up a person who's kind of disgusted with themselves? Do you wake up like a person who's unmotivated? Because if that's you, and everybody around you is going to treat you just the same. You wake up happy, you go out there and you say, you know what? It's all right. Whatever I am, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on my strengths, and everybody is going to respect you the same. Your reflection of yourself is often a perception of how others see you. I know there are a lot of complicated words, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to get you all confused. The fact of the matter is, I want you to pay attention to how you introduce yourself on the ground. Your paper and pen, I'm hoping, is in front of you. I want you to write great things about yourself. My name is so and so. I'm studying in this college. I am working on my passion project of starting off my own company after the college ends. I'm planning to get a postgraduate degree and so because being a doctor or being an engineer or being XYZ is my dream. I'm planning to open a hotel by the time I'm like 30 because that's what I want to give to my parents. Tell me your deep down dreams that make you interesting. Do not tell me something that I do not want to buy. Don't tell me about your weaknesses on the first go. Make me like you. Tell me all the things I want to know about yourself. All right. Now, this was number three of unleashing the genie. Guys, we're getting very, very close to the genie. All right. We're giving it the lamp a good rub. Now, let's go to number four. Number four. Who are you mirroring? Who do you look up to and why? Here's an interesting question I want you guys to make a note of. If you can take a screenshot, take a screenshot. If you want to write it down, write it down. If you can be someone or live someone's life for a day, let's say you get one day, the genie tells you, here's one wish, complimentary wish you got, right? Here's one wish. You can become anybody for one day, live their life. Who is that person? Is that person going to be your parent? Is that person going to be your favorite celebrity, your favorite athlete, your favorite politician, your favorite business person? That means you're swayed away by them, right? Subconsciously, you're trying to be like them. You want to be somebody like them, and you're mirroring them, right? A lot of times, if you see people who are diehard fans of actors and actresses, start kind of replicating them. They get the haircut like them, they wear clothes like them, right? And they start acting like them. And what happens when you act as if? When you act as if you're trying to be somebody, slowly and steadily you become that person. But my question here is, are you mirroring the right person? The person you are looking up to, is he the right person for you? When you look at yourself 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, do you really want to be that person? And if yes, really, really study that person's entire journey, study how they build themselves up, study the skill sets that they have. Okay. Now, if I take like a lot of teenagers, we work with a lot of teenagers. They tell us, oh, I want to be the next Messi. And we ask them, what kind of skills does Messi have? They say, oh, he has a lot of money and he plays great football. He's the best. And we ask them that, what about the countless number of hours he's practiced one shot? What about that? Yeah. What about the time he gets hurt? He goes into surgeries and comes back. What about the times he cannot see his family because he's on the field, right? What about the times when maybe he's not performing well and he's dropped from the team? What about those times? Are you also mirroring him during his weakest points? And when you are at your weakest, are you living up to that standard? When you are failing, when you are at your worst, are you acting like Messi, or are you like being, oh no, 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 what should I do? Because the person you're trying to become has to be the same person during good days and bad days. Normally we see only the good days, we don't see the bad days, but when you are mirroring somebody, mirror not only the good part, but their entire journey, right? I want you to make a note of somebody. If you could be someone or live someone's life for one day, who would that be? And write it down. Why? Why do you look up to that person so much that you would love to live their life for a day, right? Okay. Now that's number four for you, right? I hope you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. Let's quickly go to number five. Here, what we have here. Number five. What pokes the devil? Okay. Well, we all are great people, I'm sure. Okay. But again, we were talking about the bad days, right? What happens when you're angry? What happens when you don't get what you want? What happens when the devil inside of you is poked? Your triggers are your teachers, my friends. Okay. I want you to make a note of what makes you angry. What are the jokes that hurt you inside? Okay, if your friends are joking about you, maybe they're joking about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, the kind of money you have, the background you have, your scores. Does any of these hurt you? Because if they do, let's go back to point number one. Face your insecurities. Those are your insecurities, and if you do not address them, they're going to pull you back because that's kind of poking the devil inside of you. Okay, and we do not need the devil right now. Okay, we want those triggers to be our teachers. We're going to learn from them. What comments hurt your core? If somebody is kind of making a sarcastic snarl at you, and you're laughing it off in the beginning, but you actually hold that hurt inside of you. We have to address that thing because it's gonna bring you down. It's gonna bring you down because a lot of times people's insecurities, the things that they cannot deal with, become their front face. Okay. For example, if I make a joke on somebody and they get offended, I might say, "Oh my God, that guy is such a crybaby." Okay. Oh, he or she is very insensitive. Or, sorry, he or she is very sensitive, right? So what's happening? I'm viewing that person through their insecurities. I'm not viewing that person through their strengths. I'm not viewing that person for all the good things that person is, because their insecurities, the devil inside of them is louder than the actual person inside of them, right? So make a note of all these. What makes you angry? What are the jokes that hurt you? What comments hurt your core? What are the things that makes you upset? Okay, what are those things? What brings out the devil inside of you? Because we all have it. We all have a devil inside of us. Let's tame it. Let's learn from our triggers. Let's make our triggers our teachers. All right. We're at number 5. This is the number 5 mantra. 2 more to go. 7 mantras I had promised you, and we're very, very near. The genie is almost out of the lamp. What else? What else? What else? All right. All right. Now, here it is. I've written something on the slide which is kind of controversial. Some people may agree, some people may not agree. But like I said in the disclaimer, I'm going to talk about some things that may or may not resonate with you, but it's going to be an eye opener only if you let me inside your heart and inside your mind. And let me help you make this change from where you are to where you want to be to who you want to be, right? Money is a great motivation. Don't let people tell you that money doesn't matter, because it sure does. The only thing that people make a mistake is that they make money their only priority. Earning is important, being independent is important. I want you guys to thrive for independence. Freedom comes with the cost, right? You want all the luxury things in life. You want the vacations, you want the house, you want the car, you want the girl, you want the boy. You gotta work hard for it, right? Use money as your motivation. Your self esteem is as good as your bank account, my friends, right? If you're not earning enough going forward, you're gonna start comparing your bank account to your friend's bank account, all right? And those things are gonna pull you back. And that's how that thing is going to be something that the world sees you for. The world's going to see, oh, this person doesn't earn a lot. He's probably not happy, because in turn, you might not be really happy about the way that you're earning, right? But I'm going to tell you that you can always change things around, okay? If you're a person who at this point of time is not earning that much because you're in college, whatever, 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 and even after 2, 3 years when your friends have landed great jobs and you're not there yet, believe in yourself, my friends. It's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. For some people, the trajectory is different. We have different paths in life. It's going to happen. But I want you to use this as a good motivation, not as a bad motivation. This is not the only motivation, but it sure is a great boost to your self esteem. Like I said, I want you guys to thrive for independence. Freedom, the freedom that you want to live the life that you want, comes with a cost. And I want you to be ready to bear the cost. All right. And finally, we have reached number 7, the genie. Is the genie out yet? All right. Number 7 is one of my favorite quotes. Be your own superhero. Okay. For all the girls out there, it's not gonna be a knight in shining armor, always kind of coming and saving you. For all the guys out there, well, we have the mindset that the guys are gonna be the hero, but let's make it mainstream. Let's all be our own heroes. That doesn't mean that we don't need other people in our lives. We sure do. But when you sleep at night, I want you to go to bed accomplished. Okay, I want you to go to bed thinking that you're proud of yourself, because that's exactly how the world is going to see you. The world is going to see you the way you reflect it to be. Remember, right? So, write down in the piece of paper on the notebook. I really, really hope you guys are writing it down. Describe the day you accomplished something amazing for yourself. If you can go back in the past, take a trip down memory lane, live that day. Live that day when you might have won an award, you might have performed on stage, you might have made your mom proud, you might have, I don't know, proposed to somebody and they said yes. Okay, you might have had the greatest day ever. But it should be something that you achieved, not something that was handed over to you. Not like your birthday where you received the latest iPhone. No, that's not yours, right? You didn't earn that. If you have saved up money and got the iPhone for yourself, or got any phone for yourself, that's going to be an accomplishment. So I want you to write down all the things that you have accomplished on your own so far. The days, all the days when you were your own superhero, and the days when things pull you down. Refer back to this notebook, refer back to this session that you did with me today, all right? And look at you being your own superhero and remind yourself that when you have done it once, you're gonna do it again, right? Here we are. Is the genie now clear? Well, here is here are some more questions. Like I said, when we start the session, I start the session with a disclaimer. A disclaimer that said that I'm gonna ask you questions that might be uncomfortable, but it's gonna be an eye opener for sure. I hope you got your notebook and notepads ready. Take a screenshot, write it down super fast. I want you to answer. Number one, tell me the three things that you value the most. All right, three things that you value the most. For me, it's freedom, relationships, and peace of mind. Okay, those three things can be completely yours. You need not tell me personally, but this is for you to reflect. It's called self reflection. Number two, do you have a timeline for yourself? I'm sure most of us have seen the movie, what's it called? Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, where Ravi says, 24 पे नौकरी, 25 पे छोकरी, that kind of a timeline. Okay, ऐसी घिसी पीटी life किसको जीनी है? That's okay. But do you have a timeline for yourself? Do you have a timeline that says, okay, by the time I'm kind of 25, I should be achieving this. By the time I'm 30, I should be having a house. By the time I'm 35, I should be having this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you have, then write it down. Because a lot of times, if you're not flexible with that timeline, I'm going to tell you, to be very honest, God has plans, the universe, God, whoever you believe in, has plans of their own. And not every time your plans are going to get fulfilled the way you want it to be. But if you thrive enough, it's gonna get it done. Sometimes you actually will get much more than you have wished for, right? But I want you to write it down. Do you have a timeline for yourself, right? The next question on the roster is, what are the non-negotiable things you want for yourself? Non-negotiable. You will not compromise on them, right? For example, the non-negotiable thing for me is I want to have a family. In the sense, not a kid per se, but yeah, I want to get married. I want to have a house of my own. That's non-negotiable for me. So whenever I'm working, if I'm kind of like, swayed away, I'll always tell myself, it's important for me to make sure I give time to the people that I love. It's important for me to give time for my family because those are the things that are non-negotiable for me. And it pulls me back to my root. What are the non-negotiable things for you? Okay. Is owning a business an absolute yes for you? Then write that down. There is no right or wrong answer. I want you to reflect. Ask yourself these tough questions. Right? The next question is, how do you define success? Now, let me tell you, the way you define success is going to be very unique. It's not going to be anybody else's description, and that's for you to say. That's for you to define, right? Somebody else, it might be a lot of cash, it might be freedom lifestyle, it might be wanderlust. For you, it might be a nice government job, or for you, it might be a nice set job in an office, or for you, it might be traveling around the world being an influencer, okay? Be practical, be practical, okay? And how you define success correlates to two last very important questions. The first questions are, what are the responsibilities that can or are holding you back? To achieve what you want to, do you have some family finances? Do you have family responsibilities? Okay. Do you think going forward you're gonna work on something of your own that may hold you back? What are the things that can or are holding you back? I'm sure there has to be some change because we're all in a society. We have certain restrictions there. So what are the things that are holding you back? And finally, what are you willing to give up? If you are running a business, you're giving up the privilege of having a set amount of money hitting your bank account at the end of the month. If you're working in an office, you're giving up the privilege of being your own boss. If you're sitting at home not doing anything, you're giving up the privilege of just being there, not being independent exactly. But it's fine, running the family, running the house. But at all times you're giving up something, right? So I want you to tell me, I want you to write for yourself, what are you willing to give up to get that success? What are you willing to give up to earn the three most valuable things that you really, really want? Okay. And after that, we have reached here. Ha! Let's hear it. Okay. Let's hear the golden words. We started this session by asking ourselves, how do we change the way the world sees us? Okay. And I think we have come to a great conclusion that says the world sees you the way you see yourself, friends, right? And there are three things that you need to do for that. Number one, what versus who do you want to be? Ask yourself, is it a what? Is it an athlete? Is it a business person? Is it a politician? Or is it a person who is kind, who's hardworking, who values people, who gives time to family? What matters to you? What or who? And again, there's no right or wrong answer because you define your own success. Second, unleash the genie. The seven mantras, have them by heart. Go back to them, refer back to them, and unleash the genie with the seven mantras. Finally, ask yourself the tough questions. These tough questions of self reflection, ask yourself that. And fourth, finally, we're back to where are you now? After you've answered all these questions, where are you sitting? Do you see a clarity? Do you see a different person? Do you see that you're looking at yourself in a different way? Have you learned something about yourself today? That I want to ask you, right? And we're going to soon open up the Q&A session. Right? I want you to tell me, have you really learned something about yourself? Going back, have you learned any of your weaknesses? Have you learned that you actually describe yourself in kind of like a pessimistic way? Have you learned that you have certain insecurities? Have you learned that some jokes kind of piss you off? Have you learned that, yeah, you kind of have responsibilities at the moment? Have you learned that maybe you need to let some certain dreams go, or maybe you need to be a little practical? What exactly have you learned today about yourself? Because the way you see yourself is exactly how the world sees you. The world sees you the way you look at yourself, guys. That's the borderline, right? If you're looking at yourself, if you're waking up in the morning and looking at yourself and being like, oh my God, what a loser, because I know people who do that. If that's you, it changes right now, right here. It changes today. It changes when you make all these changes. It changes when you answer all these questions for yourself, right? Because you make the world, you make perceptions, and you change it. And you have the power, and I have the power, right? So, opening up for a Q&A session and finally ending my session by saying, did you find the Aladdin's lamp? Yeah. Did you find it? Because I'm sure it was always with you, but you just didn't know the mantras and the way to access it. And finally, I don't know if you've seen the Aladdin movie, you know, the genie says the more you gain by pretending, the less you're actually going to have. That means that till now, a lot of times when you're in college, when you're in school, you pretend to be somebody. You pretend to be somebody you're not. You pretend to be somebody you want to be like, but you do not deep dive into your own self. Today, I want you to ask these tough questions to yourself, make yourself uncomfortable, push yourself out of the uncomfortable zone. You are not your behavior, you are not your personality. You are who you want to be, and you can always change that, right? So the more you gain by pretending, the less you're actually gonna have it. So I'm gonna open it up for a Q&A section from you guys. I really hope you had a great session today. And I'm gonna go back and see if you guys can see me. Hello?
Yes, I'm not.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi,
I mean,
are you there, Tulika?
yes,
Perfect. Thank you so much. I hope the audio was there. I hope I didn't lose
yes,
anything.
everything was perfect. So we have
Thank
a
you so much.
question. So Janvi says that you mentioned we shouldn't be mentioning our weaknesses. What do you mean by that? And shouldn't we be transparent to people that we're talking to?
Absolutely. You should be transparent to people. But let me tell you that a lot of times when you introduce yourself, right? Imagine I'm meeting you for the first time, right? And if you ask me, Sonali, tell me something about yourself. And I say, you know what? Yeah, my name is Sonali. I'm doing this kind of work. Yeah, I mean, I'm a speaker. It's not something too interesting. I mean, you see a lot of speakers out there. I do a couple of those stuffs. And, so what I'm actually doing it is I'm actually giving you a key to treat me the way, to look at me the way I'm looking at myself. If I'm looking at myself like I'm not a big deal, I'm looking at myself like, I'm average, I'm just being there, I'm just one of the other people, you're going to treat me the same way, right? But if I I'm going to ask that person a counter question. When you go out into a social setting, okay, when you go out into a social setting, look around, and you'll be able to spot the alpha male, alpha female, okay? Their body language, their charm says it all because they tell people how to treat them. They own the stage, okay? They go and they're out there and they talk everything that's good about them. Doesn't mean that they're kind of hiding, because what's good about them is what's good about them. Let people deep dive into you. Let people understand you to understand what are your weaknesses. They need not know it in the first go. If an interviewer is asking you, okay, can you tell me your weaknesses? There are still trick ways, kind of like promote your weaknesses as your strengths. There are ways to do that. But if you tell the person instantly that, oh, these are the things I'm kind of not good at, or I'm an average person, do we want to know an average person? Are we interested to know more about them? No. When we meet a new person, we want them to like us, but we want them to like us in a way that we like us, right? So put your front foot forward, put the best foot forward, tell them about every interesting thing that you've done, learn more about them, and when they're inside your inner circle, tell them, I have my vices too, like everybody else does. You need not define yourself by your weaknesses.
Okay, all right. So we have another question. Are there any measures you take on a daily basis to build your confidence?
Okay, this is a great question, by the way. Honestly, I don't take measurements on a daily basis, but I have to tell you that I used to be a very highly underconfident person and very, very self critical, you know. And every time I made a mistake, I used to beat myself up to it. Sometimes I still do because you need a little bit of a harsh treatment from yourself, right? You gotta tame yourself a little bit. But when it comes to confidence, I'll tell you a secret that I used to do. When I went to college for the first time, I was overwhelmed because I came from a co-education and I had a lot of guy friends. I didn't have a lot of girl, friends who were girls. And I went to a girls' college and I was really overwhelmed seeing that, oh my God, there are so many girls. I've never seen so many girls in my school. My entire school doesn't have so many girls. The classroom had like 150 girls, four sections, entire college. Okay, massive, massive hall. And I told myself, oh my God, this is going to be so difficult. That's the word I told myself. And then I changed that. I said that, oh no, it's just, if this is the first time I'm telling myself that I can't do it, everybody's going to see through me, right? Because it's going to be visible on my face. It's going to be visible through my actions. It's going to be visible with whatever I do. So I said, let me pretend I'm the most confident person here. Let me look at my friend group. I said, okay, this person in my friend group is cool, is uber confident, can carry themselves well. Let me pretend for today that I am that person. Let me act like that person, right? When I say act like that person, I'm not going to exactly be ditto like that person. I'm just going to copy the confidence that person has, because kind of right now I kind of lack it. It's kind of fine, right? So this is an exercise I built up. And I've used these small, small techniques to build up that confidence. So if you want to really build up your confidence, do something that you're kind of scared to do. Okay. Imagine you're scared to talk to somebody new, or call up an old friend. Because of COVID, we've kind of lost touch. Call up an old friend and you'll be like, I don't know, man. I think they don't want to talk to me. Pick up the phone, give yourself like 2 seconds and be like, I'm just going to call that person. It doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't matter if they say, you know what, I don't want to talk to you. The moment I call that person, I'm going to be achieving. That is my goal. My goal is to pick up the phone and call the person. Right? Right? When people attempt the skydiving, the fall is not the scary part. The jump is the scary part. So what you need to do to build up the confidence is to actually push yourself to jump. Sometimes you need a coach to push you. Sometimes you can actually make the fall yourself. So do something that kind of scares you. Start from something small and build up your confidence step by step.
Okay, so we have another question. How do you handle the hate that you might receive online or from your friends?
Okay, great question, by the way. You guys are a great crowd. All right. So if I have a friend that kind of hates on me, okay, there are two ways to look at it. If that friend is hating on me because it's just their style, they're not really hating on me. They're just trying to, tell me something that they don't like about me, or they're trying to just help me overcome my weaknesses. But their delivery is kind of bad. They're being rude to me. but whatever they're saying has a little bit of truth that I can work on, then I'm just going to sit with a friend and tell them, you know what, I'm kind of sensitive about this topic. Can you be a little nice? I know it's going to be a really tough conversation to make. Sitting over here in this chair, I can tell you anything, right? But it's for you to do, and every time I do it for myself, it's equally hard, okay? But it's a crucial thing, to at least tell the people that they're hurting you while they're trying to help you. They're actually hurting you, so they're kind of becoming counterproductive. So sit with them, grab a drink, make it light, and put it on, slide it. You know how you slide into DMs, you slide it into a conversation and be like, you know what, I can be a little nice about this. It kind of hurts. I'm a little sore. It's my, sensitive part. If you can be a little nice about it, it'll be great. Don't make it like, oh, you hurt me or you're so mean. That's one part when your friend actually cares about you. The second part is when your friend doesn't care, your friend is just being rude for the sake of being rude. That means either your friend has no idea that they're being rude because that's their personality, and you've let them be rude for so long that they know that you're going to take it. You're going to take whatever they give it your way. Or you have to question, are they really worthy of being your friend? Because friends and people around you are supposed to make you feel great about yourself. A lot of times I beat myself up, and my people around me are my cheerleaders. They tell me, Sonali, it's fine. It's okay. You can do it, and you're going through a hard time. Versus if I have a horrible friend that comes and tells me, "Oh my God, you're a complete loser. I knew you're gonna fail. I don't know why you did it." Right? It's gonna be very devastating for me. So if you have that kind of friend, I think it's time to let them go. It's okay. It's COVID. You can slightly cut it off, and don't let it affect you. Now, when it comes to online hate, they're gonna be okay. If you think you're getting hate, go to any of your favorite celebrities' comment zone and read it. They receive real hate. Oh my God, the amount of comment and the amount of thrashing they get, right? And not even from the comment section, they get it from like everywhere. Journalists, interviewers, okay, everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can tell them everything in a press conference, and they have to have a smile because that's their job, and pretend that they're not offended. They're on the spot over there. I think if they can do that, you can kind of delete the comment, report the comment, tell that person, hey man, what's the hate about? Relax, block him. Don't entertain it. Just block that person. It's very easy. Block it.
All right. Another question is, do you have any advice for starting up while you're in college?
I do. My greatest advice is either start working part time or work for somebody for free. When I was in college in the second year, I started doing a diploma course. And no, in the first year, by the time I was in second year, I got an internship, and I was earning a good amount of money for an intern at that point of time. I started early. I got a lot of exposure. I didn't continue with that profession, but that profession taught me a lot about myself and about the kind of work that I would want to do going forward. So now the opportunities are a lot, right? If you find somebody online, and if you really think, oh, you know what, this person looks cool, or they have a great company, I would really love to work for them, hit them up on LinkedIn and say, sir, I just looked at the company. I know that you might not have any roles for me because I'm a fresher or I'm in college. I really want to learn things about this industry. Can I work for you for free? Is there something that I can do? And a lot of times you can go a step ahead and say that I'm willing to help you out in so and so aspects, right? I'm willing to be your personal assistant. I'm willing to be a person who handles your emails. I'm willing to be somebody who posts on your social media. I'm willing to be somebody who comes to office, helps you out with your filing stuff because I just want to learn from you, right? And if you think I'm good enough after a while, maybe you can think about actually getting into a paid model. Be that approachable. What's gonna happen, The worst that can happen is they're gonna be like, no man, not interested. That's okay. Go and hit up somebody else. In that process, at least you'll know what should be your pitch, right? And when you go and sit for an interview, you can say that, I was in college, but I worked for these 4 startups for free and I learned so and so things. I managed 5 projects. That's going to be a great portfolio. Start early, start now, work for free.
Okay, we have a question from Sunita. She says that I have a friend who is in a dilemma. He says that everybody and even his parents are against him for doing a business in which he is earning a little less now, but his passion is doing business because his parents want him to do a job and have a fixed salary. They do not want to take a risk. So, can you help him out with this?
Sure. Well, okay. If your friend wants to actually have a one-on-one conversation with me, I'm available. You can hit me up on Instagram. But if you, I can still tell you something right now. Right now, the fact of the matter is, okay. Let's answer the question again. Today is all about answering questions and the tough ones. The question is, what do your parents actually want? Do your parents want you to become a multimillionaire so they can show off to their relatives? Oh, my son earns so much. And if that's a problem, then might I add, we all have a little bit of show offness inside of us. Okay, when we choose our boyfriends and girlfriends, why do we want like a really charming and attractive person? So we can show it off to our friends, right? There's a little bit of show off in everything. Why do you want an expensive phone? Why do you wear good clothes? So you are perceived a certain way. It's all right. But in reality, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What your parents want for you is for you to become independent, for you to earn your own money, and for you to take care of yourself because they know they're not going to survive for your entire livelihood, right? Let's take it that way. So they want you to they want to see you settled so that they know that, okay, they're taken care of, right? Business has a lot of ups and downs. We've seen through COVID, right? People are losing their jobs, businesses are closing down. I think it's fair for them to have a little bit of a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a practicality towards it. But if you really believe in your business and your product, give your parents a little bit of time to settle things down. Tell them, mom and dad, give me 2 3 years. Give them a timeline. Give me 2 years. I'm gonna pull my business up from A to Z, A to B, A to D, whatever you want. Show them the pathway and be like, if I cannot do that, I'm gonna take your option and I'm gonna get a job, and give yourself that pressure as well, because at the end of the day, like I said, money is a motivation. You do not want to have a business but no account, no bank balance. And you can also run a business parallelly while working. You can work full time, you can actually work overtime. So again, start slow. Don't invest too much. Don't pester your parents for not supporting you. They're actually supporting you. They want the good for you, right? But just the deliverability is kind of bad. Parents are rude and they're like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Stuff like that. They don't sit and discuss like this. But take the intent over content, like my business partner always says. What is their intention versus what are they actually saying deep down, right?
Okay, I don't think we have any other questions at the moment. So,
Awesome.
on behalf of Team Nuts, I would like to thank you so much for taking out time from your busy and hectic schedule and joining us this evening. It was an absolutely enriching and thought provoking session. I have personally taken back a lot from it. We're looking forward to hearing you speak about your experiences again. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you so much, Tulika and Nikhil. Thank you so much, and the entire Nuts team for making this happen. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I really hope that people on the other end of the screen, even though I didn't see them, have gotten some value out of it. And I'm available to chat, contact anytime, right?
Thank you so much, Sonali. It was a pleasure hearing you listen. I think we all learned a lot. We've also shared your socials on the chat, so hopefully people will
Awesome.
reach out to you as and when needed. And we'd love to do another session again with you very soon.
For sure, for sure. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you very
Thank
much.
thank you so much.